Hi, welcome to day 7 of our Top Titans 2 gameplay walkthrough. Welcome again to our Top Titans 2 journal on our 7th day. Right now, well, I wasn't able to play that much for today since I'm actually not feeling all too well. I was basically bedridden. Whenever I look at the screen, the left side of my head starts to ache, and I'm feeling nausea for most of the days. So I wasn't able to play that much. I was only able to do one one prestige, and I've put everything to Book of Shadows, and currently we're getting at least 700,000 relics every time we prestige. So right now there's actually a tournament, and the tournament is for weapons. So let's check the prices again. You get 10 weapon upgrades and 6 fortune weapon upgrades. And for rank 2 there's 8, you get 8, and then 5 for rank 3 to 4 you get 7 and 4, 5 to 7 you get 6 and 3, for 8 to 10 you get 5 and 3, for 11 to 20 you get 4 and 2, for 21 to 30 you get 3 and 2, and then 31 to 50 you get 3 and 2. So for this one, we would like to get the top rank, which is 14 and 8, given that there's no ties, an undisputed champion, and we're gonna get 1,000 diamond out of that. So I'm planning to aim for that one. So to do that, I wanted to get a head start of getting the most. I'm thinking about maybe 3 prestige before I join the tournament, but that during those times I'm not gonna use up the relics. I'm just gonna hoard them, and I'm just gonna save them up, and then buy at least 10 artifacts right from the get-go. Okay, right now we're at 29 artifacts. As you can see, we have 31 discovered, and there's 2 that's currently salvaged, so that means we're on 29. As you can see that we have 29 artifacts collected, as it says there. So like I mentioned, one of the applications that I use is TT2 Helper. So just look for Top Titans 2 Helper or TT2 Helper on Google Play. You'll be able to search that and just check the artifacts. And there's an artifact cost. Okay, so we're on the 29. This is the one that we last purchased. Sorry, this one, the 72,000. So the next one is going to be 98,000. Let's check if that's accurate. So yeah, it's 98,091. Okay, so it's pretty much accurate for this one. So what we're going to do is we want to get at least, well, I was thinking at first the minimum is 5, but upon computing from 30 going to 34, that will just take us 1 prestige. Okay, so that's actually a good head start already. So 1 prestige is enough for us to start the tournament and then get 5 artifacts right away. But if that's the case, I wanted to get at least 3 more prestige before I join the tournament, so that we get more artifacts and hopefully better artifacts right at the start. Okay, so upon computing for the next up to 36, so that's 7 artifacts. It's gonna cost us about 1.4 million, and that's at least 2 prestigious from now. And then the next one is gonna be 800k, which is not gonna be enough because at an average we're getting 700,000 relics. So maybe I'm thinking maybe just 2. After 2 prestige, if there's enough to get up to 7 relics right away, I'm gonna go ahead and join the tournament by then. If it's not enough, I'm gonna do the 3rd prestige before I join the tournament. Okay, so as you can see, guys, we haven't leveled up anything, any any artifacts outside the tournament. All we've been upgrading is Book of Shadows. As I mentioned, this is strategy I use um, to get a good placing. And you know, if we get from the 7 first artifacts that we're gonna get, if we happen to get a good artifact, an S tier, hopefully that will give us a huge head start, a huge boost, and we'll be able to rank high. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and play a bit more. I won't be able to show you guys because I was actually planning to do the video later on, but looking at the time right now, since I'm not feeling all too well, I might sleep right away. Maybe I'll just go ahead and do some prestiges, like 3 prestige, and then or 2 prestige, and then join the tournament, try to push a little bit, upgrade some of the relics, or I mean the artifacts, and then I'm gonna go ahead and slip it out. I'm just gonna let my phone do or you know, automatically have the clan ship attacking, and then that's it. Tomorrow, hopefully by the time I wake up tomorrow, I'm gonna set an alarm for at least 6 to 7 hours of sleep, and I'm gonna rush my way up. I'm gonna do as much prestige as I can, focus on the game, and that's how we're gonna do it. Okay. So as you can see right now, since it's not pushing the way I want it, or it's not progressing the way I want it, this is the time I start to unlock a skill. And I just left it at level 1 so that it won't take us, or it won't use too much mana. As you can see, there's just 44, so it won't use up too much mana as we use the skill. Okay. Why have I not unlocked the other skills yet? That's because when you unlock skills, you will get mana, and if I unlock the skills right away, you know, it's like overspilling the mana that I could have gotten from unlocking some skills. Okay, so that's the reason why I'm not unlocking them right away. So I unlock 1 skill at a time. Alright. So right now, for a little bit of an update, we ended up at 718, and we have 733 right now. So that's about what, 15? Yeah, that's about 15 diamonds that we've got. And then what else? For the pet, I think I got a couple of pets. There you go. I got Nova. It's now up to level 5. Besides Nova, what else do we got? Cerberus is the same. Tempest. We got 2 Tempest. And then what else? I think that's about it. Amiibo 0, Clippers the same. Scraps, I think we got 2 scraps. Yep, one checking, we got 2 scraps. And no new kit. Total is still level 6. That's about it. So it's Nova, got Tempest and scraps. I'm sorry. We got 2 Tempest, 2 scraps, and 2 Nova. So that's a total of 6 pets or eggs we got today. And for the equipment, we really didn't get anything new. Oh, this guy. When I unlocked I took the equipment. I luckily got a clan ship. What do you call this? It's a slash equipment that gave us an O probability. It's actually good. I was hoping for a quarter chance, but it's actually good. I think this is the second best that you can get. The best secondary that you can get would be porter. By any chance, if we get an equipment with the porter, whether if it's not clan ship, if it's if it's pet or whatnot, I'm gonna go ahead and equip that because I'm gonna be farming a lot for the next few runs. Okay, so where else? Oops, we've not been getting the golds. Okay, so at an average, I'm getting at least 2 fairies. I think that's because of this boost here. Oh no, this one, because we got 70% multiplayer chimes. Sometimes I'm seeing 3 fairies, but I was lucky that way. But most of the time we get, if not one, more than 50%, we're getting 2 fairies, so that's actually good for us. And as you can see, I'm not leveling up my Swordmaster because we don't really need the tapping power of the Swordmaster. It doesn't benefit flagship damage at all, so I don't want to waste gold on upgrading that. So yesterday we talked about raid cards, and that's what I wanted to talk to you guys about today. I tried to hit. There was 2 rounds that I was able to hit in the clan attack. Actually, I just did one before I created the video, or I started this video. We're down to the last Titan, and you know, as you can see, these are the parts that we need to kill: the right hand, the left shoulder, the torso, and the two legs. And so far, the big damagers that we got have already attacked. So I'm guessing we won't be able to finish this Titan today because some of the guys that still haven't attacked are not really attacking. This is the issue with this clan, but you know, this is still better than those low level clans that nobody really attacks at all. So we're at 2.8 million after doing 24 attacks. That's the most that we can attack 24 times in one clan raid. So pretty much once you see people attacking 24 times, we won't be getting any more attacks because, as you can see, there's just 5 hours left. That's actually the last round. The last 4 attacks that we can get, the 21 to 24 attack. So going back, I wanted to talk to you guys about raid cards. For raid cards, there's a couple of combinations that we really do, or we use. Some of the cards that we actually, if you can see, there's what they call a meta card deck. One would be Purifying Blast together with Acid Drench, this guy here. As I mentioned, Purifying Blast, if you will read about it, taps have a chance to activate Purifying Blast. Purifying Blast will consume all affliction and stacks on the damage part, which increases this card's damage per affliction stack consumed. Okay, so Purifying Blast will remove all affliction stack on the damage part, and affliction stack removed by this card will not deal additional damage per second or trigger effects. So basically, depending on how many affliction is applied on a specific part, and when the Purifying Blast went off, that's gonna deal some damage. So as you can see, when Purifying Blast goes up, there's already a times 12 raid damage for the burst, and then there's a 30% damage per removed affliction. Okay, so that's per affliction. If you've applied a total of 7 layers or 3 layers affliction, there's plus 30% damage depending on how many that is. Okay, so if it's 7, you know, 7 times the 30%. That's how it's gonna deal the damage. So those are the 2 pairs, and then the last card that you will use together with them would be any type of support card. Okay, you don't want to add another burst, that's gonna be useless. You don't want to add another affliction, you don't really need one, because even a level 1 acid drench will actually do its job, because the damage of the affliction card doesn't really matter. What matters is that you'll be able to apply a lot of affliction, and then the Purifying Blast will take off. And then so for support, if you're gonna focus on the head, you use Crushing Instinct. If you wanna attack multiple parts of the body without armor, you use Inspired Force. If it's you wanna attack torso, you use Soulfire. If you wanna attack the armor, you use Prismatic Rift, and then Grasping Binds for the limbs. So those are the cards that you're gonna use in combination with Purifying Blast and Acid Drench. So that's gonna be Grasping Vines for limbs, Prismatic Rift for armor, and then Soulfire for torso, Inspiring Force for body, any body part as long as there's no armor on it, and Crushing Instinct for the head. Okay, and another meta build that you will see a lot of players using it for is Clanship Barrage together with Ancestral Favor. Okay, so Ancestral Favor, taps have a chance to activate a stack of favor which increases all burst damage and all burst chance. Why do we use Ancestral Favor together with Clanship Barrage? Because Clanship Barrage have a very low proc compared to other burst damage cards. Purifying Blast, well, it has 5%, but you know, that's about it. But the rest of the burst, well, Whip of Lightning has 2%. I mean, for the burst that we use together, like Psychic Chain for the limbs, Razor Wind for the body, Skull Bash for the head, Fragmentize for armor, and Moonbeam for the torso, they have, all of them have 12% activation chance. So for Clanship Barrage, there's just 2%. That's why we use Ancestral Favor together with this. And those are the two cards. And then the third card that you can use is any burst card for the specific part that you're trying to attack. Okay? So just like with Purifying Blast and Acid Drench, you add a support card depending on when you attack or on what you want to attack. For Clanship Barrage and Ancestral Favor, you combo it with another burst damage that of the target you want to attack. So if you want to focus on torso, you use Moonbeam. You want to attack multiple parts with armor, so you use Fragmentize. You want to attack the head, you use Skull Bash. You want to attack either a single or multiple body parts that has no armor, you use Razor Wind. You want to attack the limbs, you use Psychic Chain. Okay, so those are the two meta card decks that you will always see. Alright, so after that, pretty much everything is going to be an experiment, depending on which card that you have, high level cards that you have. Okay, so one of the combos that you will be able to see would be Decaying Strike together with Whip of Lightning, and then it's the support is going to be Prismatic Rift, because most of the time this is one of the best card combos that you can use if the Titan if the raid just started or a next Titan just popped up, because they will have a full armor. Full HP is kind of hard to time, kind of hard to predict or to look for, because most of the time once the armor is done, people are still, they still have a couple of seconds left in their attack and they're still damaging the same parts. The HP is not going to be full for the exposed body part. Okay, so Decaying Strike is usually used together with Prismatic Rift, and you can use Fragmentize or Whip of Lightning. Whip of Lightning is most of the time used together with Decaying Strike. So that's the only time that you use Decaying Strike. It's not really a card that you want to look out for. As I mentioned, the best card that you want to look out for would be Purifying Blast, and then Clanship Barrage together with Ancestral Favor. Those are the three cards that you want to level up as high as you can. Okay. For Acid Drench, as I mentioned, as long as you have it, even level 1, that's already enough. You don't really need to have a high level Acid Drench. But if if you wanted to get a couple of levels to it, that's fine. If you get 3 Acid Drench from finishing a clan raid, go ahead. Feel free to level up your Acid Drench card. What else? So, of course, besides those three cards that I mentioned, the Purifying Blast, Clash of Barrage, and Ancestral Favor, a couple of cards that you want to have, of course, would be Moonbeam, together with Soulfire, because they attack Torso. So you'll have a specialized Torso deck. You can have Fragmentize and Prismatic Rift, but in my opinion, I don't really focus on getting Fragmentize. I'd rather get Prismatic Rift though, because if you're gonna ask most of the veteran players, they prioritize getting support cards than burst cards. Okay, for specific body parts. But like I said, Purifying Blast and Flagship Barrage are the burst card that you must buy as much as you can whenever it's available in the dust shop. Okay. So besides Fragmentize and Prismatic Rift, you want to have Skull Bash and Crushing Instinct. Where's Crushing Instinct? There you go. So Skull Bash and Crushing Instinct both specialized on the head, and then Psychic Chain and Grasping Binds specialized for the limbs. Okay, so those are the cards that you want to have. And then some of the cards that I mentioned before that are good to have would be Victory March. Rancid Gas is not really used. For Affliction, you would want to have Grim Shadow. This is oftentimes used if you don't have a support card that you can combo together with a specific part. For example, you want to attack the head, and then the head still has an armor, but you already used your Prismatic Rift when you attack the armor earlier. I mean the torso earlier. So for the head, you don't really have a card that you can add together with Crushing Instinct and Skull Bash. Grim Shadow would be the card to go. Because Grim Shadow, as it says here, taps have a chance to apply a stack of shadow to the tap part. When the tap part is afflicted with the maximum number of shadow attacks, all shadow stacks on that part will deal bonus damage. So basically, you want to keep the full 7 stacks on that specific part. So you don't really attack all throughout the body parts. You just attack one part. You specifically attack a single part when using Grim Shadow. Okay. Some of the cards that you might that you can consider to have would be Thriving Plague, Radioactivity, and Blazing Inferno. These are some good cards to have. For example, if you're planning to attack Mohaka, you don't attack the torso, so you attack the circle, the head, the shoulders, or the head, the arms, and the legs. Okay, so if you wanna, so you can attack multiple body parts at the same time. So Blazing Inferno and Thriving Plague are a good card for that one, because for Thriving Plague, taps have a chance to apply a stack of Plague to the tap part. For each part that is afflicted by Plague, all stacks of Plague will deal additional damage per second. So the more parts that you can attack with this, that are more parts that has this affliction applied to it, will deal bonus damage, as well as Blazing Inferno. As it says here, taps have a chance to apply a stack of Inferno to the tap part. For each part that is afflicted by Inferno, this card's activation chance is increased. Blazing Inferno is just an increased chance, while Thriving Plague is an increased damage. Okay. Radioactivity, taps have a chance to apply a stack of Radioactivity to the tap part. For each second part is afflicted by Radioactivity, all Radioactivity stacks in that part will deal additional damage per second. Okay. For each second a part is afflicted by Radioactivity. Well, I see some of them. So pretty much if you have a lot of stacks on that layer, or if you have 5 stacks in that part, I think it says here that it's gonna deal multiple damage, or an additional damage. I'm not sure if I'm understanding that right, but that's how I see it. But yeah, so those are some of the cards that you might or that you can have if you want to buy them, if you want to upgrade them. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I just got out of the bat before I took the video. Didn't see that. So yeah, for Fusion Bomb, it is actually a high damaging card, but you know, it's really hard to master that Fusion Bomb. Okay, as I mentioned from the previous video, um, Fusion Bomb, you will circle on a specific part for a couple of seconds, maybe 1 second at most, and then you go to the next one because if you stay on that specific part, the Fusion Bomb will not go off. Okay, so it's like a ticking bomb. As long as you're attacking that part, the bomb will not tick and it will not go off. Okay, so they actually cycle through all parts for Fusion Bomb, and it's really hard to do a maximum 600 taps. Even with power swiping active on using Fusion Bomb. So if you want to practice it and you'll be able to master it and use it, it is gonna be a huge damage dealer. So if you're willing to master how to use Fusion Bomb, then please by all means go ahead, buy this. This is actually one of the top damaging cards that you want to have besides Clanship Barrage and Purifying Blast. Okay. Actually, those are the if you're gonna have a tiers for cards, those are the S tier cards. Will be Ancestral Favor, Clanship Barrage, and Purifying Blast, as well as Fusion Bomb. But as I mentioned, this is really hard to master. But if you're willing to go ahead and master the card, this is gonna be a huge damage dealer, and you're gonna be doing a good job on your raid attacks. Okay, so that's it for card combinations. So pretty much, sometimes how I do it, how I combo on my main account using the cards, I always preset Purifying Blast together with Acid Drench. And then, for example, we need to deal more damage on the torso because the torso has a lot of damage or a lot of HP. I'm gonna use Soul Fire together with Purifying Blast and Acid Drench. So that's gonna be my support card. This is gonna be Soul Fire because I will be able to deal more damage on the torso. And then together with Clanship Barrage and Ancestral Favor, I'm gonna use Moonbeam. So that's how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna have 2 attacks deal damage on the torso. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and attack the head using Skull Bash and Crushing Instinct together with another card, maybe Grim Shadow, or if it doesn't have an armor, I'm gonna use Inspiring Force. This card, or I'm gonna use Prismatic Rift if it still has an armor. Okay. For limbs, I'm gonna use Psychic Chain. Sorry. Oops. I'm gonna use Psychic Chain together with Grasping Binds, and then maybe Grim Shadow as well if I'm just gonna attack a specific part. Or most of the time, I'm gonna use Inspiring Force or Prismatic Rift. If not, I'm gonna use either what do you call this? Fragmentize or Razor Wind. That's how I usually do limbs. Because I used to combo my support cards like Prismatic Rift and Inspiring Force together with either my torso attack, my single torso attack, or my single head attack. Well, it's lucky if for example the torso has an armor, the head doesn't have. So for torso attack, I'm gonna use Moonbeam, Soul Fire, and Prismatic Rift because it still has armor. And then for the head, I'm gonna use Crushing Instinct and Inspiring Force and Skull Bash. So that's good if it happens to be that way. And then I can use the two attacks with limbs. If I'm gonna hit two attacks with limbs, I'm gonna use Purifying Blast, and then Grasping Vines, and then Acid Drench. Then I might attack two parts at the same time, either the two legs or the shoulder and the arm, or the arm, the shoulder, and the hand, or maybe the hand and one of the legs. Okay, and then for Clashy Barrage, together with Psychic Chain and Ancestral Favor, I might target single part or maybe two parts as well, or three parts. One arm and leg, or four parts at most. One arm and two legs. I'm not gonna do the U attack, meaning the left arm, two legs, and then the right arm. I don't really do that much. The most I do is the three parts, but I really like to do two parts only. Either the hand and leg, or the shoulder and arm, or shoulder, hand, or the two legs. That's how I usually attack using or attacking limbs. That's how I usually do attacks on limbs. Okay. So that's pretty much it for strategies on using your raid cards. Further on, as we get more raid cards, I'll go ahead and show you guys how I do it. Oh, we got another basket. That's great. So yeah, once we got more cards, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys how we do the attack, and then hopefully I'll be able, after this raid, I'll be able to get the three cards that I wanted to get, which would be Purifying Blast, Ancestral Favor, and Clashy Barrage. Okay. As for the other cards that I want to have, I think I'm only missing. Sorry. I already have Crushing Instinct. Crushing. What's this again? Yeah, Crushing Instinct and Soulfire and Moonbeam. I have the two cards for the torso. I want to have Skull Bash, as well as Grasping Vines and Psychic Chains, so that I'll be able to have all the specialized cards for specific types, all the specific cards I mean. And then I'd like to have Prismatic Rift. I don't really prioritize getting Fragmentized, but if it shows up, I might buy it if I still have the dust. So I wouldn't mind buying Fragmentized, but I would prioritize getting only Prismatic Rift, and then Inspiring Force and Razor Wind. Okay. So Razor Wind, not that much, but I'd really like to have it. Well, we already have it, so we wouldn't be looking to buy that anytime soon. Okay. So that's it for now, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the video for today. Hopefully you've learned how to do clan raid attacks. Hopefully the combination of the cards that I've mentioned will help you moving on. And tomorrow I might accidentally tap that. So yeah, tomorrow I will go ahead and show video, or take a video at the time that I'll be the tournament is gonna be finished. Okay. At least that way I'll show you guys what will be our rank, and hopefully we get to get the rank 1. But low level tournaments tend to be really hard, because RNG is gonna be a big factor. Our luck in getting new artifacts will be a big factor, and as you can see so far with the artifacts that we've gotten, I'm not really lucky with getting those cards. A lot of F tier cards we've gotten a lot of the F tier cards, artifacts, but hopefully we get to be lucky once we join the tournament, get some, even 1 or 2 S tier, even 1 S tier, a couple of A tier cards would be a great thing. Okay. So that's it for now for me, guys. Hope if you liked the video, please go ahead and like, subscribe, and share, and tell your peers about the videos, and hope other players, even veterans, will get some input, new inputs from me and learn more about the game, and do a better performance, do better on tournaments, do better on clan attacks and all. So thanks for watching. Bye for now.